Hi guys, today we're going to keep working with our Pythagorean theorem unit. So the title of what we're going to be doing today is using the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between 2 points. It sounds very complicated, but it's not. So here's a sample question that you are going to see on this topic. What is the distance between 3/8 and -5, -2? So when you see these are two ordered pairs. So what you're going to need is to plot those ordered pairs on a graph, and then you're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find that distance. I have a note right here. You either need to use graph paper. If you don't have any graph paper, you can use the Desmos graphing calculator to help you out with this, okay? So the first thing that you're going to do on a problem like this is either use your graph paper or the Desmos graphing calculator to graph those 2 points and connect them with a straight line. So if you see on my graph paper, I've already plotted 3/8. So I drew my X and Y axis. I plotted 3/8 and shoot, that should be -5, -2. I didn't write that correctly. So that should be -5, -2 right there, okay? So once you have your two plots plotted, you're going to connect those with a straight line, which I did. And our goal for this problem is to see how long this line is. Now, here is the issue that we have. That line is a diagonal line. You can't just count the blocks of a diagonal line. That doesn't make any sense. So what you're going to do once you plot your 2 points, connect them with a straight line, you're then going to use your pen, pencil, Desmos graphing calculator, whatever, and you are going to create a right triangle between those 2 points. And when you create that right triangle, the line that we are trying to solve for is our hypotenuse, because it's the diagonal. I'm going to call this line line A, and I'm going to call this line line B. So the other issue that you run into is we don't have a number value for A and we don't have a number value for B. So how do you find out how long that line is? You're literally going to count the blocks. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units long. And this side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units long. So then once you have those dimensions, this makes our right angle right there. You're just going to plug those values into the Pythagorean theorem and solve for C. So if the points make a diagonal line when you connect them together, you're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between those 2 points. So once I have this set up, then I can just solve it using Pythagorean theorem. So I would have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. I found that my value of a is 10, so 10 squared is 100. My value for b is 8, so 8 squared is 64. And I am solving for the hypotenuse, so all I'm going to do is add those two numbers together. So that's 164 is c squared. Don't forget that the last step in Pythagorean theorem is to take the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. The square root of c squared is c, and the square root of 164 to the nearest tenth is 12.8. So what we just found is the distance to the nearest tenth between 3/8 and -5, -2. So when you find that distance, you actually solve for that diagonal line, and that's the same as the hypotenuse. Also remember what we talked about in earlier lessons, your hypotenuse has to be the longest side. So if we find that that is 12.8, that is going to be the longest side if the other two legs are 10 and 8. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Today's assignment, or the assignment that goes with this lesson, is on Canvas. There's only 4 questions, so make sure that you plot those on either graph paper or Desmos graphing calculator. Come into Zoom tomorrow. If you have me for block 2, come at 12 o'clock. If you have me for block 3, come in at 1 o'clock, and I'll help you out on these if you need some help. Otherwise, I will see you later. Thanks.